Hey there gamers, Retro Rob here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the C64 Mini. This is an unboxing and first impressions video. I'm not going to go into super serious depth about it, but the Commodore 64 was indeed the first computer I ever had. This is not it though. I had the bread bin one, which is actually up there. I've got the box from my first one, but I no longer have the device itself because I gave it to a friend, I think back in 1990. But the C64 is the computer that I've owned the longest. I don't think I've ever kept a computer as long as this one. I think I had it for about 7 or 8 years. Loved the heck out of it, ran a couple of bulletin board systems on it, and really was just, this was my introduction to computers. I'm so glad my parents got me this instead of an Apple II, because the enjoyment I've gotten out of it has just been, great, and it's stuck with me my entire life. I mean, I work in computers now. So thanks to this, I work in computers. Sure, that's what it was. Anyway, let's get started with the front of the box. The C64 Mini. There it is. There's its big old controller. 64 games included. World's best-selling home computer, reborn. Plugs into your TV, included. HDMI cable, AC adapter not included. They gotta quit doing that. They have mostly quit doing this, but that is really annoying. Especially like if it's a premium type of item, include the darn AC adapter. This is ridiculous. We can't plug everything into the one USB port on our TV. The right side of the box is overflowing with facts. High definition output at 720p. Has a save game function. Yay! 2 USB ports, plug in a USB keyboard, and uses a home computer with C64 Basic. I'm gonna have to try that. Or add a second joystick for 2-player action. Alright, it said games, but I turned it into action. The left side of the box, C64 mini computer, HDMI, 64 games pre-installed. Yay. The C64 joystick, a USB power supply cable, and an instruction manual. Yay. The top of the box is pretty sexy, really. I like it. The bottom of the box is more boring than the rest of the box, huh? Designed in the UK by Retro Games Limited. The back of the box should always be the best part of the box, and guess what? This one doesn't disappoint. It has a few of the games listed, it's got a full list of the games down at the bottom. Yeah, not bad. I want to point out that the Temple of Apshai trilogy is included. That is a great game, however, you really should have the booklet for it. Commodore 64 fact. My Commodore 64 boots up way faster than my Alienware laptop. That's fast. Just don't try to load anything. Let's open this thing. Okay, so this has got one of those slide out boxes. I like this. This is good boxing. I got a thing for proper packaging. Look at that. The C64 Mini. Very nice. I'm like right up against the right side of the mic. I really hope I have it set in mono right now. Alright. Presentation. That looks nice. Very good. Let's take a look. I'm gonna look at the C64 itself last. So we'll set that aside. It comes with a quick guide. Wait, zoom back a little bit. Zoom back even more. Guide rapide. And okay, so it's basic black and white and just shows you basic hookups. I see. Alright, let's go on. I have never heard of this. Retro Reborn, the world's first retro game subscription service. That's kind of cool. Officially licensed. Huh. I'll have to check that out. I've never heard of this. Has anybody ever used this? What's the deal with this? First thing we have in cables is an HDMI cable. It's not like super awesome, but it's not super cheap, so not bad. I mean, it's okay. It's, you know, decent grade stuff. Looks like it's only about 5-6 feet long, which is a problem if you're gonna have to plug this in via USB for power. But all right, whatever. Next, we have the micro USB cable, and that is pretty decent. It's got good thickness to it, and the build quality, if you look at it, is really nice. So that is really a decent cable. Nothing wrong with it. Next, we'll pull this joystick out of here and brush aside the bulks and take a look at it. All right, here's the joystick, and what's this based on? The Precision Pro, is it called? The something Pro, I cannot remember. It was really popular in England, as I recall. Not as popular here in the States. It was heard of, I mean, we knew what it was, but it wasn't as widely used as it was there. It does feel a little cheap. I've heard this about it, and it doesn't feel quite right. For the record, here's the real thing. And wait, Competition Pro. There we go. Competition Pro joystick. There it is. This is the real one for scale. It's a little bit taller than the original. It looks a lot like it, but the plastics do not feel the same. There's the same texture to it, but this definitely feels just not quite as good. And the buttons are similar, but not the same. So, you know, it's a facsimile, but not really the real thing. Also note that this one's USB. Has some extra buttons on it for controlling the little C64. Speaking of that thing, let's pull it out. Alright, so here is the little mini C64 in all of its glory. Sadly, none of the keys work. It would have been so cool if it had a tiny little keyboard that you could peck at. Wouldn't it have been? Come on, that would have been cool. But it does look really nice. The build quality on it's decent. The plastics feel much better than the joystick does. So this device itself really feels pretty good. A couple USB ports on the side, power button, HDMI, and there's its power. Yeah, not bad. And here it is next to the real thing. Nasty little bread bin C64 that I spent most of my life on. Mine, the original one that I had anyway, had gray function keys like this guy here, not the brown ones like that one. But yeah, very nice facsimile, looks good, as does the original. Alright, let's cable this thing up and get going with it. HDMI cable. Power in. Fortunately, I have USB ports built into my outlets. And then I'm going to assume that this is the right USB port to plug this guy into. That looks great. Bad angle. Look how big the joystick is next to it. That's just crazy. Alright, let's get playing some games. Alright, so just scrolling through the main menu here, we're going to just kind of go through what games are on here. I'm going to play about 5 games on this. I'm going to note that the C64 Basic is here, so you can hook up a keyboard and actually use the Basic, which is kind of cool. Find some old Run magazines and type them in. I like that. Oh, break dance. I forgot about that game. So anyway, the collection, it's a pretty European collection. There's a lot of games that weren't so big in the US, but were big other places. That said, the collection I think is pretty great that's in here. I am going to note that you can add games to this via USB drive. So you can plug in a USB drive and you can add extra games to this. I'm going to do a video that is separate on that. Right now, this is a first impression, so I'm just going to cover what's built into it, but I will do a separate video. I'm probably going to record it right after this so it gets done right away. And yeah, just some interesting stuff. There's Paradroid, which is huge. Pit Stop 2, which I used to play to death when I was a kid. Just great stuff. Skate Crazy, I never heard of that one. Here's School Days. It was infamous among my friends. I never did learn how to play it correctly. I suppose I should go look it up. One thing to note is that there really isn't any real instructions so far as I've been able to find in this game system. So you're pretty much on your own. You're going to have to go look it up on the internet. Now, of course, pretty much every one of these games you can find the information on the internet. Here's sort of our goal, which is freaking amazing. Great game. Still fun to play. Well worth trying. Here's the Hall of Fame, which is basically a greets thing. Tower Toppler! Yes! That is really cool. That's a good game. Trailblazer. That looks like Ball Blazer, doesn't it? A lot. Uridium. That was a big one. Winter Games. I remember when that came out. World Games was a big one. I think I played this on the Apple IIgs, as I recall. Synapse. I always wanted to play this game, so I'm really happy that it's here. I never did pick that up. And we're back to Alley Cat. Alright, a couple more things about the menu real quick. Alright, menu items. If you press down on the joystick right here, you have 3 little guys on the bottom. And the first one here is display. So you can do pixel perfect, European 4x3. What is it? Does that change the... I don't know. But anyway, 4x3. You can do fake scan lines. And I think I'm just going to do... I'll do North America 4x3 CRT. There we go. And then I hit the menu to go back. Change your language. If yours happen to be in a different language, you can set it back here. USB keyboard. Legal notices. System information is, well, here. If you put a USB drive in here with a new firmware, it will update the firmware from here. And I will be showing that in another video, as I mentioned earlier. Alright, factory reset. I could reset it to its factory settings. I'm not going to do that. Alright, let's try some games. And here we are with some Boulder Dash. And let's start the game. One thing I do want to show you is if I press this button right here, it will bring up a menu. I can save and load games at any time. Very useful. I'm hoping that when I'm playing games that I added, I'll be able to save whenever I want, like maybe Zork. Because I have a problem. I use a SD disk drive for my real C64, and it won't save games for Zork. So it'll wreck Zork every time I save it. So hopefully that will be a way to play that game. Next, we've got the virtual keyboard. And wait a minute. There we go. And that's right here. Of course, you can use a physical keyboard if you'd like. And then finally, we could exit the game from here. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to play a little bit. I think for each different game, what I'll do is I'll do like a different aspect ratio so you can kind of see what they look like. Oh boy. There we go. Alright, so far, the joystick doesn't feel that bad. I've heard reports that people have broken them, but it doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart. It still doesn't feel like ultra high quality. It's definitely better than like a lot of Atari controllers I've used though. So really, it's not bad. Ah, shoot. There we go. By the way, if you press the button and press it in a direction, you can dig ahead of you, thus getting you out of a lot of trouble. There we go. Door opened. We go for the extras. Gotta watch it. There we go. Whee! And there's the door. Made it! Alright, let's try something else. And here we are with Jumpman in 4x3 with no scan lines. And here I'm going to show you the usefulness of the virtual keyboard. There we go. Now I have to hit enter, and that is, or return, and that is this button here. And that causes kind of a problem in this game because if you're not paying close attention, you can accidentally hit that button and it brings you back to this menu. That is kind of painful. I kind of wish they would have put these buttons down here where I wouldn't hit them. Alright, virtual keyboard and one player. There we go. And let's get out of there. Easy does it. Easy does it. This level is actually harder than many game levels today. Like this would be like halfway through the game. Come on. I don't want to get hit by that bullet. It will change direction on you, see that? Dirty little thing. That said, the bullet's better than the little rotten gremlins that come out later in the game. This controller is really working quite well. Ah, shoot. Oh, I'm gonna die. Yep. That's a bummer. Jumpman is not the easiest game on earth. There we go. Oh, you cheap bugger. Really? Really? Alright, here we go. Let's get that last one. Oh, I failed. And I died. Darn it. Yep. I am not good at this game. It is fun, though. There we go. Made it. Only took me, what, 2 lives? 3? Yeah, 3. Alright, let's go on. Alright, here we have Pit Stop in Pixel Perfect mode. And it's so pixel perfect. I actually like this mode quite a bit. I don't think it's bad. Not too wide, not too squinched. Anyway, the really cool thing about Pit Stop, of course, was the fact that your tires would wear out. You see how my tire's blue right now? It will get progressively worse throughout the race. Also, you need to keep getting fuel. And that made it awesome. Of course, the other awesome thing about Pit Stop was the fact that you could play 2-player against a friend on the same screen. Which is great, because you can punch them then when they win. Oh, jeez. I am all over the road. Yeah, big mistake made. This guy is kicking my butt. He's like way ahead of me. One of the cool things about this game is how you can kind of risk it. You know, you'd have a tire about to blow, and you would try to just ride it out while the other guy takes his pit stops. And then hopefully, oh jeez, you would be able to win the race by skipping pit stops. I don't know how well that's going to work out for me because the computer is doing perfectly. I am not. Here's a pit stop. I wonder if I remember how to do this. See, he can put gas in. Really? What did it empty it? Jeez. Gas up, come on. Alright. And then I can have this dork put the tires on. Take them off. See? Ooh, I'm not winning any races here. There we go. Now I can go. Pretty cool game. But I'm doing terrible. So I think we'll move on. Here's a note. I am finding Spin Dizzy like really hard to control. So I don't know what's up with that. If it was never an easy to control game, but it seems a lot harder here. And I don't know if that's because of the controller or it's because of the emulation. And of course, this is an emulation machine, so it's not necessarily perfect. Yeah, I'm having a really hard time controlling it. And I used to play this game quite a bit. And yeah, the controls are a little bit hard, but it's really... yeah, it's really jamming up on me here. So that's kind of a bummer. For the record, we are in Pixel Perfect with scan lines. Yeah, this is really hard to control. I mean, really, I'm just hopping right off of there. And I used to play this game enough that, yeah, I shouldn't be just flying off of everything like this. Something's not right. I'm not sure if it's the controller or whether there's something up with the game, but yeah, it's a little bit off. All right, here we go with Uridian in PAL 4x3 mode. Or I think it calls it European 4x3 mode. Yeah, take him out. Landed it. Oh yeah. I love this game. Ah, almost got it all. Yeah, this plays pretty nice. Run! I'll just play till I die here. Oops. Which just happened. Alright, I'll play till I die again. There we go. Ugh. The trick was always to stay ahead of the game, and I am just not staying ahead of the game. Really? Alright, we're going on. Hey, look it. It's Who Dares Wins. You know, I was absolutely sure I was the only person who thought anything of this game. I mean, Commando was actually pretty good on the Commodore 64. But I always did like this game. Oh no, I'm gonna die. You're gonna die. Anyway, if you've ever played Commando, this is basically Commando. I like it a little better though. I'm dying a lot. Come on. Let's try at least. Come on. Got him. I like the way they all hide under stuff. Come on. You're going. Oh man, they just shot my friend. Come on. Again, the joystick's holding up just fine. Got it. I think I did, didn't I? I'm leaving. See ya. Oh yes, I dared, and I won. How about some Synapse? This game was... I saw a demo of it, of all things. And I'm trying to remember where I saw it. It was like... There was one company, or the company that made this anyway, used to put demos of their other games. And it was just basically, you couldn't actually play them.
Incorrect. The game demo was for Sentinel by Synapse Software.
It was just basically like a video of their other games. And Synapse was one of the games that I wanted. So it's pretty cool to play this. I never did get to play it, so... Neat little shooter. Would be useful to know what these pickups are doing. Oh, shoot. Alright, last life. That button's kind of loud. Oh, man. Yep. It got me. All right, let's get to the verdict. My score was not ranked. Oh. All right, so what's the verdict on the C64 Mini? Well, all in all, my first impressions are it's pretty darn good. I think the construction quality on the Mini itself is really nice. It's got good detail. Yes, I do wish the keyboard worked. It would be really a lot cooler if it did. But I can plug in a keyboard, I guess, if I want to use one. And people have already made a C64 full-size shell for this and put keyboards in that. The joystick is better than I expected, especially since I heard it was prone to breakage. It feels pretty tough. I think you'd have to beat it pretty hard to actually do damage to it. But that said, if you were used to using the original of this controller, you could beat that thing really hard, so I can kind of understand how it might happen. We'll see how it holds up over time. The selection of games it has on it, there's 64 of them. They're really pretty good. You can add your own games, and I'm going to show you that in a separate video because I do have to update this in order to do that. But it is a real simple process, so don't worry. It's only like a couple minute video, and it's coming up really pretty soon. So all in all, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. For 40 bucks, it's really not bad. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And I'll see you in a couple days. Bye.